Hey gang, Treetop Piper. Been a little while. Been a little while since I did a video, hasn't it? Certainly has. Today is going to be a particularly special video. Housekeeping, I'm smoking my Peterson Meerschaum with some 2013 Special Latakia Flake. My chicken scratch is pretty hard to read, but 2000, and it's a quilted jar, so it's very hard to write on. 2013 Special Latakia Flake made by Germain's, and boy is it good. This stuff is great brand new, but after it's got 3 or 4 years on it, it just turns into a whole nother beast. Mm. Almost like candy, I swear. It's like Sour Patch straws or something weird. But anyway, today we've got a very special first impression. Almost as special as the crumble cake first impression. We've got a 2-year-old tin of Our Best Blend from Smoker's Haven. Very excited about this. It says Our Best Blend. The Pipe Smokers is nectar of the gods. An excellent blending of the finest quality string cut Virginia with prime leaves of Latakia and mild, full flavored Turkish tobacco. The mixture of these bland tobaccos is in Our Best Blend gives the pipe smoker a delightfully cool and tasteful smoke, which burns down to a completely dry ash. For the working hours or those relaxing moments at home, you will like Our Best Blend by Smoker's Haven. Made in Jersey, British Isles. I love it. Our Best Blend by Smoker's Haven. Great tin art. Just beautiful tin art. I wish I could. There's a man sitting on like a bench here. I wish you could see it. Or am I just blind? Yeah, Our Best Blend. Got a little. It looks like a college student because he has almost like a dress on, or a gown, like a cap and gown. Like, yeah, it almost looks like that's a college student right there in cap and gown, smoking a pipe on the cover or the tin art. So anyway, without further ado, we're going to bust this bad boy open. Mm, man. Anyway, this is 2 years old and it's got some pressure in there for sure. Definitely got some pressure, but let's hear it. Okay, there was a little, get that out of the way there. Oh, oh my goodness. Smells wonderful. Man, that smells like probably one of the best English blends I've ever smelled. Just so musty and good. Oh, goodness. Oh, yeah. And they definitely use some badass Latakia for this one, guys. Supposedly, it's got Syrian Latakia in this one, Our Best Blend, which I seen some Latakia that was covered in crystals, so that may be what it is. Let me see if I can find me a piece. The moisture content is just about perfect for my tastes because I like to leave it out for a couple minutes, and so it should be just slightly moist, just slightly coming out of the container. Oh yeah, there's definitely some of that. Probably some vintage Syrian in here because I think Germain's was using. I'm not positive, but I want to say they were using Syrian Latakia for this and for a bunch of their other blends for a little while, just to give it that extra oomph. Now they use regular Latakia too, but I think they use some Syrian as well, just to give it a little bit of spice. So anyway, yeah, here, like, see, yeah, there's this one's just covered in white. This little bit of Latakia here. Just a beautiful little piece. Oh yeah, there we go. I wish you guys could see this better. Yeah, it's just covered in crystals. But anyway, it has that musty English smell. Really musty, almost like Margate. But I don't think there's as much Latakia up in this bad boy as, say, Margate. Oh man, it's just stringy as all hell. Loving it. Loving it. Beautiful string cut tobaccos. And I can definitely tell this has got a ton of Turkish in it. Ton of Orientals. Not quite as much Latakia as I was expecting, but actually very similar to exotic mixture, I would say. But maybe we'll see when I'm smoking it what it comes out to. But it almost reminded me of Margate out of the tin, the way it smells. But it doesn't have nearly as much Latakia as Margate. Oh man, whoo! Those Orientals are so on point. It's not even funny. I'm trying to think of what other blends I've had that did that had this smell. Maybe Balkan Sobrani. I would say that's probably one that was close. But this is just killer. It got just a great smell to it. Anyway, I'm going to pack the rest in here and let this dry out. And I will come back when it is packed and smoking. And we are back. Chooching on this bad boy. Enjoying the heck out of it. I just did the charring light and got it started. Starts off kind of mild. Yeah, it starts off pretty mild. Really nice flavors though. Comes off as an English rather than a Balkan. Although the Orientals are up in that piece big time. They are saying hello for sure. But I would say the amount of Virginias and Latakia in here, um, I'm thinking kind of makes it more of an English blend. Not so much of an English blend as, say, Margate. I don't think it has the punch that, say, Margate has. it's just like creamy and mellow and smoky. Super creamy. Super creamy. It's got a mustiness to it, almost like Penzance. But it doesn't have that sharp Balkan edge that Penzance seems to have. A little bit more mellow than I was expecting. I guess it's like the the retro hail there was pretty pungent. I definitely get the Latakia and the Orientals on the retro hail. I guess I would say, yeah, this isn't English, and it's almost balanced so that the Latakia is kind of the main player, because it doesn't, the Orientals are there, but they're not jumping out at me like they do in Penzance or the Exotic Mixture or Balkan blends in general. It seems more to me like the Latakia and the Latakia and the Orientals are in the front and driver's seat. Like the Latakia, I would say, is probably the dominant. It's a quite a round flavor. It's got a little sweetness to it, a little tanginess, and a little smokiness, but nothing is like too much at all. It's very bland and like it says in the tin is that they take bland tobaccos, blend them together, and it comes out to be a really round flavor, a really complex flavor, but mm, almost has like a coffee earthiness to it. Kind of weird. It's not like any other English blend I've ever had. Um, it's earthy, very earthy and coffee like, which I'm expecting really Oriental flavors. I'm expecting to get those big Oriental tastes. The tanginess, the metallic flavors like Penzance, but really I'm just getting this kind of vague earthiness, coffee flavor. This is for the first quarter. I haven't even gotten to the first quarter, past the first quarter mark. So I'm gonna come back when I'm down below the first or the I'm in the last quarter and give you guys the final verdict. Hey guys. So I'm down here about the last third of the bowl, last quarter or so, something like that. Yeah, maybe last quarter. And I'm just gonna go ahead and go through, my notes and what I've written down about it, and then I'll wrap it up at the conclusion. And that first quarter, just a very vague Englishy flavor profile on it. Wasn't really wowing me. It was just really mellow, not showing off at all. And then, but it had like that musty kind of Penzance mustiness to it, which was really nice. And right off the bat, you can tell what a high quality blend you're dealing with. But then I get to the second quarter, and all of a sudden, the flavors start building, and the blend really kind of had a defined flavor to it. Whereas before it was just there were no edges to it. It just felt like a really vague flavor profile. And then as the second quarter progressed, it started, becoming more defined. Like I started being able to taste what this was, exactly what it is, and start picking out flavors and stuff. At first, it was just a really vague, earthy, Englishy kind of a thing. Then it started to get, by the third quarter, became really complex, earthy, with like this metallic twang to it that the Orientals tend to impart for me. It gives it kind of this metallic-y kind of a flavor, and a nice smokiness in that just sets the whole background. And by the end, it just ends up being this really nice, just wonderful English. That's not. Uh, I mean, right down to the last scrap, it's good and dry, and it's one of those tobaccos where every puff is better than the previous puff before it. And I found that tends to be the standard with these Smokers Haven blends. Every puff gets better. I mean, it's really crazy. A lot of Germain's blends too. It starts off kind of nothing special, and then what ends up happening is as the juices get the smoke, the resins pass through the other tobacco, it really begins to shine. A quarter to halfway through, and all of a sudden, at halfway point, I go, oh, this is why they call it our best blend. Because at first I was thinking, geez, how do you hang your hat on a blend like that? That how do they call this their best blend? But at the halfway point, you realize why they call it their best blend. I mean, words to describe it: delicate, creamy, wonderful aftertaste. Just so delicate, such a delicate. I mean, it really is a fine tobacco. It really is. And I can see why they call it our best blend. Because I packed this bowl full. This is a big bowl. And I'm down to that last little bit, and I'm just trying to get every speck of tobacco burned. Mm. Almost in the same vein as Penzance, but not quite as balcony. A little bit more of a standard English. I'd say this probably has a little bit less Orientals than Penzance. But it just amazes me how it starts off so mellow and you think it's kind of lame, but they do that for a reason. That way the end of the bowl is amazing, cuz a lot of blends when they start off really flavorful, halfway through, and I've heard Simon say this, halfway through it gets too much. the resins build up and all of a sudden it's too much. You can't handle it. You end up tapping half the bowl out or putting it away for later or whatever. These blends are like smoking experiences where you sit down and you smoke the whole bowl. You smoke the whole bowl every time because it just gets better as the bowl progresses. It's just an absolute pleasure to smoke these blends. A lot of Germain's blends are that way. Balkan Sobrani is that way. Penzance is kind of that way. It gets better as the bowl progresses. But this one here, this is one of my favorites of all the Smoker's Havens I've had. This would be in the top 3. And once I try the 20th anniversary, I'll be able to really sit down and figure out, where these are placed in what the pecking order is, in my opinion. And I'm really looking forward to that once I finally get that 20th anniversary mixture and get a taste of it. It'll really be nice. And I'm just amazed how cool and dry of a smoke it's been. Just a lovely, lovely blend. I wish I could get more of it, but it's like hen's teeth. It's just impossible to get a cellar, to get a half pound of this. It's just not around like that, I guess. And other people think it's the best too, so they don't want to come off of it. I've been able to get all the other blends, but this one was one of the toughest. And boy, was it worth it. Just that musty, musty English. Doesn't get any better than this, guys. Doesn't get any better than this. But anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoyed the review as much as I enjoyed making the review. And that you guys have had a good week so far. It's hump day. We're halfway there. And until next time, Treetop Piper over and out.